I want the exotic bow from the new dungeon, and there's only one guaranteed way to get it, by soloing the entire dungeon using only bows. Surely that's how that works, right? Here are the rules. I can only use bows and abilities that don't directly deal damage. So no storm grenades, no combination blow, no fun. Also, if and when I die, I have to delete a random item in my vault. I'm definitely gonna regret this. Subscribe. The run started off like any other. Kill Minotaurs, roll around in their white goo, then fix Bungie's server issues. Trinity Ghoul made combat effortless, except for the Cyclopses, which I took out with Whispering Slab from a distance, cause I'm a bit. After 10 minutes of engaging gameplay, I opened up the floor to a slide, reminding me of my childhood. A simpler time, where I didn't have to worry about bills, viewer counts, or... Oh wait, I have to delete a weapon now, no! With a death this early into the run, it's not looking good for my vault. My first loss really hurt. The only Reese-Walker I've ever kept. It's not perfect, but it understood me and cared for me when no one else would. Oh well. Moving on, I made my way to the jumping section, got speedy and greedy, and paid the price for it. One mental breakdown later, I made it to the first real encounter. Here, I was able to use anti-barrier bow to easily deal with the Hydras, and Trinity Ghoul once again to make quick work of the smaller enemies. This played out just about the same as any other run, so let's just... To my surprise, my reward for this encounter was actually something I've been searching for. A 7 Seraph Carbine with a new and incredibly powerful perk called Target Lock. Unfortunately, it's not a bow, so I can't use it. Now it's time for the true test to see if this challenge is even possible. The Harpy boss. In this encounter, you basically just get the Minotaur buff and shoot a total of 20 of those wire boxes. Then you can DPS. Simple enough, right? Nope. For this to truly be a bow-only run, I needed to use Leviathan's Breath, the only heavy bow in the game. But since this is an exotic, I have to give up Trinity Ghoul, which means the best ad clear replacement is Tripwire with Dragonfly and Swashbuckler in order to one-shot the annoying harpies in the sky. That did a decent job of clearing ads, but the real challenge is DPS. Before you can even damage the boss, you have to shoot all of his eyes. That's a lot of eyes. You're supposed to use something fast-firing like an SMG, but I only have access to bows. If you take too long shooting the eyes, you don't get a damage phase at all, so I knew I had to be fast. I dropped Well of Radiance before the eyes opened, shot each of them with Whispering Slab, then quickly swapped to Leviathan's Breath to DPS. Oh, and I forgot to mention, Leviathan's Breath is, for lack of better words, substandard, poor, inferior, second rate, second class, unsatisfactory, inadequate, unacceptable, and a bunch of other insults. This bow takes forever to charge up, which means I was only able to shoot it 5 times on slow runs, and 7 times on really fast runs. This is what one good damage phase looks like. In any other scenario, this fight would be impossible, but lucky for us, this boss has unlimited damage phases. So given enough time, it's technically possible, and that's exactly what I set out to prove. I damaged him not once, not twice, but 9 more times. And finally, on the 10th damage phase... Yes! Let's go! First try, 10 phases. I'm never using Leviathan's Breath again. At least not for another 19 seconds. After that, I repaired some wires with arrows, and much like any Minecraft YouTuber, I got too close to a fan. These deaths cost me not only my best 1000-yard stare, but a really good Ancient Gospel, which I'll never be able to replace since Garden of Salvation sucks. But on the plus and side, I got a crappy chest piece to fill the ever-growing void in my heart. Yay! With that out of the way, it's time to confront the ultimate challenge of this run. The goal of this boss is similar to the last one. Absorb the Minotaur's goo, shoot the red wires, then shoot the yellow wires. But this time we have Supplicants, the Vex equivalent of a puppy, strapped with C4. After losing my only adept Swarm, my OG Breachlight, this godly piece of armor, and my face cam, I decided to play it safe. And by that I mean Crutch Well of Radiance. Now that I have a full phase down, it's time for DPS. Once again, I used Leviathan's Breath, which did surprisingly well, not because of its damage output, but because of its knockback. A normal damage phase gives you multiple epileptic seizures, but the knockback managed to stagger him so much that he couldn't shoot. And after one really good phase, he's brought down to... oh! I repeated that whole process again, killing Supplicants and Minotaurs with Under Your Skin, until I reached the next damage phase. And another, and another, and another, for a total of 7 damage phases, until this happened. And as my journey came to an end, I didn't get the exotic bow I was hoping for, but that's okay. The real treasure is the subscribers gained along the way. Subscribe.